everyone else. Thank you for staying with us. I'm just checking over Twitter here for a second to see what we've missed, but I guess I'll start and open it up to the table. Public television, we don't have enough mics for everyone, so if one of you doesn't have a mic, I will point this at you. But maybe go back to some of the folks from our first table, or what do you wish you would have said that you didn't say?
Again, this is Brian Salmo. I guess what I would like to just reiterate is, St. Louis is a great critical mass of entrepreneurial. I don't want to say bubble. That might sound negative, but there's a lot of energy happening right now, and the entrepreneurs know each other. But it's getting the outsiders involved, the cross-pollination of ideas that can really take the community to the next level. So I think that's really where the focus should be, is getting other people within the bubble.
I'd just like to point out, I think this mic works great. I was just told in my ear they can cut my pay to pay for more mics, but I think the more I think about this, is working great. Keep it going. Anybody else? Joe, I feel like
I was really interested in the Twitters that came in. First of all, the airport is a total non-issue. For this whole movement, it's ridiculous.
People were complaining about
to whine about the airport is just ridiculous, because all the young entrepreneurs that we bring in for arts grants, they're coming from all over the world in the States. They don't care about the airport. In fact, they kind of like going through more quickly. They communicate this way, the way we're doing it right now. That isn't a big deal. We're going to do better on the airport, but that keeps coming up. It's a typical St. Louis.
Well, I think
that the airport's a downer and that hurts St. Louis and that kind of thing.
Or was it maybe alluding to the connectivity that we've lost at our airport? You're saying that's
or that
not
it
a
got
problem.
hit by a tornado.
Well, that's been repaired.
I think that connectivity is what this show is all about. I mean, the fact is that you and I can go right online right now to Bangalore in India. I mean, the fact is that these people are working 24/7. I have such admiration for the entrepreneurial spirit that many of you pointed to. I'm a feeder, but I will say to you that without the gas, which is called capital, this isn't going to work. Because as soon as these companies get to a point, financing risk is the greatest killer of companies. Unless you've got, somebody said, I couldn't find a typewriter. Well, guess what? When you need to have $1 million to scale your business, because it's all about scale. That's how you make money. Unless you have $1 million or $3 million here, you're not going to go. So I think that's really important.
But Joe, one of the things that's happening that's really cool is that people like you are raising additional funds, right? And the reason you're doing that is because there's deal flow here. If there wasn't deal flow here, you and none of the investors.
But come with me and try to raise funds.
What's deal flow, first of all?
Deal flow. Sorry, it's kind of like a fountain of good investable ventures coming out of the ecosystem, so that investors can put money in them and help them grow faster, and eventually the investors make money, the entrepreneurs do really well. And
the more potential deals are out there, the more quality deals you can pick from. I mean, if you only have 2 deals to pick from, it's a 50-50 chance, and both of them are probably going to fail. But I mean, if you have 50, 60 deals a month that you're looking at, that you're constantly flowing through, then you can build up a big fund because you have a big selection.
I think it's a process. I definitely think that there's a process. Say we have 2 that really win and win big. Maybe they were funded, one was funded, one was not. But they actually end up becoming wealthier than the people that actually funded them. And now you have somebody actually coming back in. They start their own, we were talking about this earlier, their own St. Louis version of Y Combinator, what do you call it? Or kind of like Horace did. Like they start their own private equity fund. And then they start putting funds in.
Yeah, but let me give you an example. Square started in St. Louis. They just pulled out their last 50 engineers.
This is Jack Dorsey, Twitter founder.
And I like Jack's a great guy, but why isn't he here? And so the answer is Square or Twitter. If we'd taken up $5 or $10 million and planted that company here, that's what it would have taken.
Well, first of all,
no, absolutely.
Square's co-founder, Jim McKelvey, who actually created the Square, actually wasn't Jack, it was Jim. He is here. And he's in venture capital, exactly to your point. He's my partner in Cultivation Capital.
Right.
And we are making those investments.
Yes.
And as these companies move up the ecosystem, there'll be the A-round opportunities, and those investments will be made.
But we need to have it now, because where are all the Square employees?
Right.
Well, Square was the story from 5 years ago.
Right.
The current companies like Locker Dome are getting funded. Locker Dome got an A-round from us because the opportunity was there, and it's a great company, and we made it happen.
I just raised $15 million for EndoStim. It's here, but it's changing. But I'm telling you, go raise $100 million right now. Right? Which I'm doing.
but-
It's impossible. You've got to change. We've been exporting capital.
I'm taking my lunch to work.
This town has been, this city, this region has been exporting its capital. I'm talking about the big funds.
Right.
$8 billion in the state.
And its talent.
And, well,
And
the
it's
talent,
talent.
I mean,
The
somebody
talent has
disagree
followed
with
the
me,
money.
but the talent follows money.
Right.
And
I agreed. I disagreed with you in terms of that because
no, I know, but I understand your point.
Talent
But
follows
ta-
money, and money also follows talent.
Well, of course.
Money will follow the
I
talent.
Or helps
disagree.
to cultivate
I
it.
disagree because first of all, I'm trying to get talent here. For example, there's one kid that I'm trying to get as a developer in my shop. He is making a fair sum of money straight out of college from WashU, going to UBS. I was in banking before. I know that in certain areas you can make a decent amount of money. I said to him, listen, there's no way I can match that. 100%. I can cut it maybe in half. And then you can come in. He's actually now still seriously considering coming to my shop.
Because you're offering him
Absolutely.
equity as well, right?
No.
You're not offering him
No.
equity.
I'm offering him the fact that he's going to work with great people that are going to care for him and going to grow him and give him experience in a community that he really longs for.
Okay.
And then I said, listen, there's plenty of upside. You know, that guy from Google that got the $150 million payday, he started with a $60,000 salary when he first started, right? So I think there's plenty of pathos, plenty of passion you could send off to these young people that want to be a part of the community. We just have to provide that for them. And I think with T-Rex, in T-Rex, with My Little Shop, all these other places that are actually developing their businesses, they see it and they feel it. And I feel like that there are a lot of talent, like they brain drain people. They're staying because of passion.
Let's get this into the table here a little bit. And are the issues different? Because you talked a lot about social entrepreneurship. Do you have some of the same themes, or is it radically different?
It's not radically different. I think there's a lot of challenges that are very much the same, but I think it's how long he'll stay at that
Sure,
rate and
of course.
what the burn rate is. So if we don't have the capital that's investing in keeping them here, then
Yes.
as much as we want to stay.
I'm not saying money's not important.
Right, it's just, there's only so much of a runway you have. So I think having that early stage funding, then having that mid, beyond seed stage, but then also being able to help those companies that have strong foundations then scale is really what is going to keep them here.
Are
as
we
well.
ahead of the game on the social entrepreneurship end of things?
Yes, but if we're going to listen to Jack Dorsey, then we should play to our strengths, and our strengths is that we have a tremendous pipeline in that regard, and lots of deal flow coming out of WashU and UMSL and all those other schools. So what we really need to do is educate our investing community about what that deal flow looks like and what the bottom lines look like, both from a social and a financial point of view.
Right.
And really, when we can take the investor to the next sophistication level with regard to understanding what this deal flow is, we put our flag on that mountain, and we're distinguishing ourselves from every other city in the country.
And starting the pipeline earlier, I have to say. So we focus a lot at the collegiate level, which is awesome. WashU is awesome. SLU is awesome. We have tons of really great universities in the metropolitan region, but we have to start earlier. It's too late to wait to the collegiate level. We have to develop high school students who have to be developed when they're in middle school, and we aren't doing that right now.
And for the social entrepreneurs, it's not enough just to have a great place to launch an idea, which is what we have in WashU and UMSL and these other places. You have to have the same mentor network, you have to have the same capital network, and that's where we're still pouring concrete.
Matt, here, go ahead. I'm sorry.
For the high
You get the
schools,
mic next.
we actually are doing a lot more. We bring in 24 high school educators every month. They're basically networking among themselves, and we at SLU are connecting them to the community resources. We had 500 high school entrepreneurs here, and the presenters were 10 superstar high school entrepreneurs from all over the country. They were Shark Tank winners, kids with their own cable shows. And so you're right. I mean, we need a pipeline. And one of the big entrepreneurship foundations talks about a pipeline which really is from grade school all the way through. We're getting there. Interestingly enough, the educators are really excited by this prospect, and they're coming to us and asking for more. So that one's going to happen. That's in the process.
To remind folks, Matt, you started a company that you developed something to help surgeons, I think is how I remembered it, but with some amazing, part of what we were talking about, that innovation translated into a business. I want to know if you're going to stay in St. Louis.
Sure. So I think long term, our goal is to keep the company here. We say St. Louis is a great location for biotech and medical device innovation. And really,
is there a but coming?
No, I don't think there's a but coming. Above all else, I think we want to be here, and we see the potential and the resources for us to grow here. But I think Joe, you bring up a great point. We come up to the next round, and all the venture capital is out on the coasts. What do we do, right? I hope that we can again bring that here, have the coasts look to St. Louis for these great opportunities, bring that capital into the region and grow and build a company.
I run a $75 million venture capital fund, healthcare, ag tech, and clean tech. What one sees is that in the absence of having the capital here, you get a term sheet from Boston in the healthcare area or that kind of thing, and I've seen this happen. And the first line is, you move to Cambridge, or you move to Sunnyvale, California. 5 years ago, got it. Today, we got to stop that, because I'm picking a little bit on Dorsey and Twitter and all that, but hey, where are you? I mean, it was nice that he came in to see Clinton and all that, but what are you doing? And that was 5 years ago. Cliff and his team are doing a lot. I think from here on forward, we got to have an $8 billion market cap. See, what brings people off the sidelines, and I'm the money guys and all that, it takes a big winner. It's amazing how big it is when somebody said, because he had options in Google, right? Your friend? He had options. He had equity.
Right.
Yeah, you said 150 million. When people make 100 million,
Well, he got the 150 million in options.
that's how he got it, with sweat equity, which is what you want to do, and I hope you do. But when investors see, hey, this guy over here, my neighbor, he made 50 million bucks on this thing. Well, I got to get involved here, and the institutions start to say, I don't have to put my money.
Yeah, I think.